Welcome to everybody here. Thank you so much for joining us for this celebrity special edition of Face Off. I'm seeing 341 people in the channel, which is slightly scary. Oh, yes, you should be able to see the broadcast. I'm going to amend that right now. That should be fixed. So there's obviously some new people here. You're very, very welcome. Thank you so much for coming out and joining us. This is a charity stream that we're doing today. We're raising money for Samaritans. We'll be going since 1 o'clock this afternoon. We're going on till about midnight, 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. Everything raised is going to Samaritans, and if you would like to donate to that cause, they're a fabulous charity doing some really great work in the UK here. You can go and donate at that link right there. We've got a special celebrity edition this evening of Face Off. Face Off is a brand new game of my own design, which we're I'm just going to undeafen in the server so the guys can hear what I'm saying, even though they haven't introduced them yet. It's a brand new game of my own design. Very, very simple concept. You've got 4 players, each with 60 seconds on their clock. They've got to answer as many questions as they can within those 60 seconds. If they get it right, they move on to the next player. If they get it wrong, they get another question. And when their time runs out, they are eliminated from the game. And we keep going until there's only one left. So I'm very excited about this, and I hope you are as well. Let's meet tonight's players. If I focus on the right window. We've got Daniel. Daniel is a 35-year-old quiz and puzzle writer from Bristol in the UK. We've got Lucy. Lucy is 47 years old. She's a comedian from London. We've got Tom. Tom is 36 years old. He's a content creator, also from London. And we've got Paul. Paul is a 47-year-old composer from Worcester in the UK. To all 4 of you, a very good evening and welcome.
Hi.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to have you all here. I'm going to go through and have a chat with you briefly one at a time. First of all, Daniel, I'm going to really struggle to call you Daniel because I just know you as Dan.
Happy with Daniel, or Quizzy. That's
I think we'll go Dan. Dan, thanks so much for being here. So I know you've had a fairly busy week with sort of one thing and another. Not to go into detail now, but unless you particularly want to. But let's move on. I know you've had a busy week, so thank you very much for being here. Dan, just tell us a little bit about you, what you do, what your background is.
I'm a big quiz fan. I went on lots of quiz shows as a youngster, and eventually I won some money on a quiz show, and that enabled me to start working for ITV at the time. And since then, I've either been doing question writing or puzzle writing for the Press Association or things like that. I'm about to start next week being a questions AP on a new show, so I love all things quiz, but does that mean I'm any good at them? We shall see, because I have the internet to do the research, but whether I know my stuff, we will see.
We will indeed. Well, Dan, lovely to have you with us, and thank you very much for joining us. And facing off against Dan tonight is Lucy. Lucy, good evening and welcome.
Oh my goodness, hi.
Hi.
I'm very excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
A pleasure. Thank you for joining us. So you've got a background as, I know obviously you're sort of, make a living as a comedian principally, but I know you've got a big handle in the quiz world. Just tell us a bit about your background and the sort of stuff that you get up to.
Oh, I certainly don't make any money off quizzing, but then who does?
Who does?
I'm just a massive fan of the quiz from being a young thing, watching Paul Daniels and Jim Bowen and all those amazing people, and I have been lucky enough in recent years to, being a comedian, they ask you to go on quiz shows. So I've done like The Chase and Mastermind and had all these brilliant experiences, and I now co-host a podcast with Jenny Ryan.
Right.
The Vixen, who is amazing. And so it's quite nice really, because I have no ambition to be like a professional quizzer, because I look at her and I see how amazing she is and how hard it is and how hard they all work. But I dabble. I enjoy dabbling. You were recently on a Celebrity Mastermind fairly recently? Or am I making that up? Oh. I mean, I don't like to bring it up, but I did the Champion of Champions. I mean, I'm embarrassed that you even mentioned it. Yeah.
Well, it's got to count for something, maybe.
Yeah, no, that was really nice, because mainly because I beat Miles Jupp, who is my nemesis.
Right. Well, we haven't got Marge up here this evening, but you have got 3 other formidable opponents, and we wish you the very best of luck. Thank you again for being with us, Lucy.
Thank you.
And facing off against Dan and Lucy is Tom. Tom, good evening and welcome. Have we lost Tom?
It's hello.
Hi,
Am I still
Tom.
here? There we
You're
go.
still here. I've got you now. How are you?
It has been nearly a year of pandemic Zoom calls, and sometimes I still leave myself on mute. It's amazing. I'm doing good. Normally I'm asking the questions for things like this on YouTube now, and it is nerve-wracking to be on the other end of that for once, because I've got a reputation to keep up here now.
Well, you recently did a bit of an experiment with a virtual studio with
Yes.
I almost said Deciphered. I thought, no, that's one of mine. It was Disconnected. It began with a D.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
It's a lot of fun. That we were trying to find a quiz that could work remotely, that wasn't just faces on a screen, and so we got a kind of a 3D set designed that put me at the top of a virtual broadcast tower in this massive virtual studio that is not green screen. So it's 2 massive LED walls, 1 LED floor, all rigged up to the cameras, and it looked wonderful. It was also a lot of favours pulled in to make that show work. So if it's returning, it will probably not be on that massively expensive screen, but a lot of fun.
But, you're well known amongst because you've run quite a successful YouTube channel, and which I'm a big fan of myself. And you talk a lot about quite clever things a lot of the time, and you talk a lot about programming and the things you might not know series.
I do, but that's because I spend a lot of time researching. Like how much of my brain have I now offloaded to Google and offloaded to the internet? I guess we're about to find out.
We are indeed about to find out and see if indeed anything has stuck. Tom, lovely to have you here. Thank you for being with us, and the very best of luck tonight.
You.
And finally, facing off against Dan and Lucy and Tom is Paul. Paul, good evening.
Good evening. How's it going?
Very well indeed. Lovely to have you here. I was to say, Paul, we found Paul hanging out in the green room earlier on when just before the stream went live. I sort of said to Ash, Paul Farrer's in the green room. I think he wants to do a sound test, and it seemed to all go swimmingly. But Paul, thank you very much for joining us. So your background's as a composer, principally for media, TV and film.
Yeah, that's right. So I feel a little bit like a fish out of water, because I have worked on an awful lot of quiz shows over the years. But by the time they've asked the first question, I'm already about 3 shows after this. So I put my hand up and say I have no experience of quizzes. I've never done one, and I feel that I'm going to let the side down terribly.
Are you not considering that maybe all the time you've spent writing music for various quiz shows, the Wheel, which the chat is currently singing at us, you've done the Wheel, you've done The Weakest Link, I think, 1,000 Heartbeats. Do you think that maybe being exposed to that sort of quiz world, maybe something's rubbed off by osmosis or something?
I love knowledge. All I do is read books. I love all kinds of history stuff, and I'm deeply curious about the world, and I just don't have any kind of recall. So I watch The Chase, and I kind of I'm shouting the answers about 2 seconds after everyone else. So it's quite clearly a recall problem. It's not a lack of ability. It's just the speed at which my brain works will embarrass me tonight, I'm afraid.
Well, we will soon find out if indeed that it's going to be an embarrassment or if it's going to be a surprise sound victory. Thank you very much, Paul, and to all 4 of you. It's lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining us. So the rules are very, very simple. Daniel's drawn the short straw and is going to start on the blue podium, which means he's going to be answering first. If he gets the question right, the clock will pass over to Lucy, and then to Tom, and then to Paul, and back to Daniel, and so on. If they get it wrong, then they get another question, and as soon as the time hits 0, then that player is summarily eliminated from the game. Thank you all very much again for being here. I'm going to stop saying that because I've said it like 12 times now, and it's probably getting quite tedious. Shall we go to the arena?
Let's do it.
Let's go to the face-off arena. So, like I said, Dan, you're going to be starting us off. Each of you has got 60 seconds on your clock. The very best of luck to you all. Dan, you're starting, and Dan, your time starts now. Dan, Brad Pitt stars as Tyler Durden in which 1999 film? Correct. Lucy, the media tycoon Rupert Murdoch was born in which country?
Australia.
Correct. Tom, what is the largest brass instrument in an orchestra?
Tuba.
Correct. Paul, Cass Elliot and John Phillips were both members of which California-based vocal group?
The Mamas and the Poppers?
Correct. Daniel, the protagonists of the long-running cartoon strip by Bill Watterson are Calvin and who?
Hobbs.
Correct. Lucy, raclette is a regional speciality from which European country?
Ooh, France?
No, it's Switzerland. Which country
yeah.
launched the Sputnik 1 satellite into space in 1957?
USSR.
Correct, Soviet Union. Tom, what was the original name of the British band Blur? Selwyn or Seymour?
Selwyn.
Incorrect, it's Seymour. What is 1/9 of 99?
11.
Correct. Paul, according to the Old Testament, which hero killed 1,000 men with the jawbone of an ass?
Solomon.
No, it was Samson. What M is the traditional Celtic language of the Isle of Man?
Manx.
Correct. Daniel, in the 1994 film Shallow Grave, which Scottish actor played the character?
Pass.
It's Ewan McGregor. Complete the title of the 1987 movie starring Steve Martin, John Candy.
Automobiles.
Correct. Lucy, in 1440, King Henry VI founded which famous public school?
Eton.
Correct. Tom, on New Year's Eve in 1999, who resigned as president of Russia?
Gorbachev.
No, it's Boris Yeltsin. Which word is a term for a monarch and the name for a former British gold coin?
Sovereign.
Correct. Paul, the men's version of which Olympic sport features the events parallel bars and vault?
Pass.
It's gymnastics. The pop group A1 had their first UK #1 single in 2000 with a cover of which version of a Ha song from the 1980s?
Take on me.
Correct. Daniel, what is the colour of the harmless lie you might tell to protect the feelings of
White.
somebody? Correct. Lucy, in which country did the folk group Clannad originate?
Ireland.
Correct. Tom, the Black Sash organisation was founded in 1955 by women opposed to the apartheid in which African country?
South Africa.
Correct. Paul, which famous blonde actress played Angela Finlay in the film The Asphalt Jungle?
Jessica Lange.
Marilyn Monroe. Which female singer released an album in 2002 entitled Lovers Live?
Pass.
It's Sade. In cricket, the home ground of which county is called the Rose Bowl? Hampshire or Kent?
Kent.
No, it's Hampshire. What C describes the transportation of heat through a liquid or gas?
Conduction.
No, it's convection. What W is a word originating in Scotland that means little? It is we, but Paul, I'm afraid you're just out of time. Oh, Paul.
My life. Absolutely shocking performance. There.
Well,
Yeah, those
were
were
brutal
hard.
questions.
They were
You got a nasty run there.
no,
Oh,
that's it.
Samson and Marilyn Monroe, those were hard.
The thing with this game is that if you get into a spiral of bad questions, it can be very difficult to pull yourself out of it. And I think maybe the pressure just got to you there. But Paul,
Does anyone have the Samaritans' number?
I think you can certainly follow the Tiltify link, and there will be some information there. But I hope that this little bit of friendly fun here is not all that for yourself, Paul. But
It didn't feel like friendly fun. I gotta be honest.
well, it's Fast and Furious. The pressure's going to be on. But hey, Paul.
You should have heard the thing we were all saying to each other in the chat before the show. Honestly.
Shudder to think what was going on in the green room.
Oh, yeah.
Paul, it's been lovely having you here. Is there anything you would like to say to the viewers before you
Yes.
leave from us?
Is this it now? Is that it? I've literally. That's it. I'm dead.
I'm afraid that's it. You're out of the game.
That's fine. Well, how much money have you raised so far?
£1,876.23.
Okay. Well, I'm adding £1,000 to that total. And I'll send
Oh my God!
the Samaritans on behalf of you.
That's amazing.
That's unbelievably kind of you. Thank you so much, Paul.
I'm really quite something. And listen, guys, I wish you all the best, and well done for doing this. You know, it's good. It's an important thing that you're doing, and I'm sorry that I'm such a total amateur. But I have.
Well, no, it's been a pleasure having you, and thank you so much for your generosity there.
You're very welcome.
Ash will be able to point you towards the right page to do that. But for now, Paul, until next time, thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon, I hope.
Have a great evening.
Hooray! Well done.
So, Paul goes out, but not before giving an extremely generous donation to the Samaritans. Thank you very much to Paul for that. But we have got the small matter of the rest of the game to play out. Dan, Lucy and Tom have all survived. Tom has got the least amount of time left on his clock, which means he is going to be starting the next round, followed by Lucy, and Dan is going to be going third. Let's go on to round 2. So here we are, into round 2. Well done, you've made it through round 1. Tom, how was that for you?
Oh, I was not happy seeing how far my clock was going down compared to the other two. Like we've got a champion of champions of Celebrity Mastermind, and we've got someone who literally writes quiz questions for a living. If I can hold my own in this round, I'm gonna be happy.
Well, you've made it this far, and there wasn't a huge amount. It was about 7 seconds by the end of it in between you, so we'll see how you get on. Lucy, how did that compare to Mastermind?
Oh, my nerves are shredded. You're so much worse than John Humphreys. I mean, you know.
I'm going to put that on my CV. He's so much worse than John Humphreys.
I thought he was intimidating, but it turns out you are absolutely, terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Also, very impressed by Dan's. He's clearly got a sort of good tactical game because he passed like a whip. He was like, no, I'm not having that question, and I'm going to learn from that in round 2.
Absolutely a good strategy.
I know when I don't know things. It happens quite a lot.
So Dunning-Kruger is sort of tangential to the Dunning-Kruger effect. Maybe you know what you know and you know what you don't know. But that's a perfect fair strategy. If the question comes up and you see it in the studio, and you know you're not going to know it, you can pass it quick and I'll press the button. Dan, you finished with the most time on your clock after round 1. How are you feeling going into round 2?
Absolutely, I'm terrified.
Oh no! Oh, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting abject terror from my guest. That's all I'm getting.
Oh.
Not at all my intention.
That was, as Tom says, nerve shredding.
Well, you've got an extra 30 seconds each of nerve shreddingness to deal with. We're putting 90 seconds onto the clock, which means you need a little bit more stamina, but you've also got a little bit more time with your opponents possibly behind you. So, a little bit more stamina, 90 seconds each on the clock. Tom, as mentioned, you are going to be starting off this second round with the least amount of time left on your clock there. Best of luck to all three of you. And Tom, your time starts. Now, Tom, if a plant is biennial, how many growing seasons does it need to complete its life cycle? Correct. Lucy, in colloquial speech, to concentrate on the facts of the situation, to get down to brass, what?
Tax.
Correct.
Tax.
Daniel, what A is the name of the inventor who reportedly exclaimed Eureka when he discovered his famous...
Archimedes.
Correct. Tom, in the Olympics, which medal is awarded to a person gaining third place in an
Bronze.
event? Correct. Lucy, in which establishment are you more likely to encounter a flitch, a beauty salon or a butcher shop?
Butcher shop.
Correct. Daniel, what is the meaning of the word gargantuan? Very large or very small?
Very large.
Correct. Tom, in 1536, in which fortress was Queen Anne Boleyn beheaded for treason?
Tower of London.
Correct. Lucy, the Timor Sea is part of which ocean?
Oh, the Atlantic.
No, it's the Indian. In which US state did the 1996 Atlanta Olympic Games take place?
Georgia.
Correct. Daniel, what M is a term defined as hatred of women?
Misogyny.
Correct. Tom, which large padded items of equipment must be worn on the hands during a boxing match? Correct. Lucy, who produced the 1928 cartoon Steamboat Willie?
Walt Disney.
Correct. Daniel, the island of Iona is in which Scottish island group? Hebrides or Shetlands?
Shetlands.
No, it's in the Hebrides. The Kerry Blue Terrier dog originated in which country?
Ireland.
Correct. Tom, what is 1 plus 449?
150.
Correct. Lucy, what important artist of the Italian Renaissance had the surname Buonarroti?
Michelangelo.
Correct. Daniel, in popular parlance, to buy something without knowing its value is to buy a pig in a what?
China shop.
It's pig in a poke. The port of Calais was controlled by which country between 1347 and 1558?
Spain.
No, it's England. The receptor cells in the eye, known as rods, are sensitive to which kind of light, bright or dim?
Dim.
Correct. Tom, in China, what form of transport is a sampan?
Pass.
It's a boat. As an Afghan hound, a lapdog or a hunting dog?
Hunting dog.
It is. Lucy, which substance available in both pressed and loose form is applied to the face to make it seem smooth and less shiny?
Powder.
Correct.
Powder.
Daniel, which three-letter word means fully out when referring to the tide and quiet when describing a sound?
Pass.
It's low. In a French restaurant, if you ordered a bottle of Vin Rouge, what would you be asking?
Red wine.
Correct. Tom, which muscles are found in each buttock, gluteus or deductor?
Gluteus.
Correct. Lucy, the final stage of the moon landings took place in a vehicle called an LEM, which stood for Lunar Excursion what?
Module.
Correct. Daniel, what item of furniture can come in a design known as a four-poster?
Bed.
Correct. Tom, James Earl Jones provides the voice for which character?
Lion King.
Correct. Lucy, what P is the name of a large solid cushion used as a seat or footrest?
Poof.
Correct. Daniel, the 2006 Football World Cup finals were staged in which country?
Brazil.
No, it's Germany. In the UK, which Sunday broadsheet newspaper was first published in 1990?
Observer.
No, it's the Independent on Sunday. The official residence of the Bishop of Durham is located in the town called Bishop what?
Ville.
No, Auckland. Which extinct Australian mammal had yellow and black stripes? The Tasmanian tiger or the Queensland quagga?
The Tasmanian tiger.
It did. Tom, Advocaat is made from brandy, sugar, and which animal product?
Eggs.
Correct. Lucy, which Sunday programme regularly presented by John Craven covers farming and rural
Country
affairs?
File.
Correct.
Country File.
Daniel, a yellowhammer is a variety of which type of animal?
Well, it's been lovely, a lovely afternoon here.
Say again? It was a bird.
That's what I said. Yes, wasp.
A similar bird wasp. A yellow jacket is a wasp, I think, but yellowhammer is a bird.
Yes, that's what I said. Bird, yeah.
Dan, just getting into that spiral and not able to get out. I'm so sorry. But you leave with your head held high, getting to round 2 and putting up a good fight. Have you had a good time?
Oh, I tell you what, I'm relieved now. Tom and Lucy, you've got one more round to go.
Dan's just going to go and watch. Well, Dan, it's been lovely having you here. Is there anything you'd like to say or mention or promote before you go?
If you would like to follow me on Twitch, I'm at QuizzyDan. I do a quiz at the moment. In February, it's going to be every other week on a Thursday evening, and I do a few other streams. But I'd just like to say thank you, Ben, for picking the Samaritans as a charity, because I've had mental health problems in the past, and I'm still not completely happy these days, but I'm a lot better than where I was. I have been there. Whilst I've never called the Samaritans, I have been a person in need of their help. And this is not an easy part of the year for anyone, just because of the world's circumstances. They probably need all the help that they can get at the moment. So thank you very much for doing this. And I cannot be as generous as Paul, but he sets a precedent. So I'm going to donate 1,000 pence. It's not pounds. I can't do that. I'll put £10 in the Tiltify link in a minute. But thank you very much, Ben. It's all going so swimmingly. You're doing a great job, and thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you very much, and a pleasure. Thank you for your generosity there as well, Dan. You're getting a lot of love in the chat, I have to say. But do go give Dan a little follow over on Twitter and on Twitch for his Thursday night quiz. Dan, thank you for your generosity. Thank you for taking part, and we'll see you another time.
Good luck, Tom and Lucy.
Thanks.
Thank
bye. We love you. Bye.
So, Dan leaves us, which brings us down to just 2. Tom and Lucy, let's go to the final round. So, tables have turned again. Advantage now with Tom, who had the most time left on his clock. Lucy, you're going to be going first in this round. How are you feeling coming into round 3?
Oh, do you know, it's a stamina game now, isn't it?
Really is.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm exhausted. If you could see me, I'm a broken husk of the woman I once was before we started this. Yeah,
Well,
no, it's...
I'll suggest a stiff glass of wine or a strong cup of tea when we're done here to help take the edge off, perhaps whatever your particular tipple happens to be.
I'll do both of them mixed with a Red Bull chaser, just to kind of pick them. But
That's I'll leave you. Report back to me how that goes for you, Lucy. I look forward to hearing about that. You are through to the final, and you're going to be playing up against Tom. Tom, you had the most time left on your clock at the end of round 2, which means you're going second. How are you feeling?
I do not need a Red Bull chaser on this. I'm not going to be sleeping for several hours now, and that's just on pure adrenaline. I'll tell you this. I can't see the chat from where I am, but I just want to say that 449 plus 1 question nearly got me.
It threw you through a loop, doesn't it?
I had the 500 out before my brain went, no! And it nearly got me.
I think it's the way it was, because it was 1 plus 449, which sort of short circuits the sort of factor of the number combinations.
That was a complete dick of a question, and it nearly got me.
Well, I tell you what, you can thank, and we must all thank David J. Bodicum for providing these questions, which he has wrangled from a source and has very kindly donated. When I said to him, I've got this idea for a game show, at the time I didn't think I'd be running a celebrity edition. I mean, this game show is literally less than a month old. But so we've got a tournament running on the channel for season 3 from next month, but I didn't think I'd be running a celebrity special after about 3 weeks of its existence. But when I said I've got this idea, he said, here you go, have 12,000 quiz questions, which I've sort of plugged through a processor to extract the details. So we're enormously grateful to David for these questions.
And I'm going to point out, despite the fact that I've worked with David on a few things, I have seen nothing, I know nothing of this. He has told me zero about anything like this. He will make that clear as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, David actually took part in the pilot, and didn't win. He went out.
On his own
On his own
questions.
questions, went out in the second round. So he didn't memorise them all, but we're enormously grateful to David, and here he is in the chat as well. So thank you very much, David, for making this a possibility. So
Yeah, thanks, David. Thanks. Really, yeah.
that sounds so sincere. Well, there's a poll going on as to who they think is going to win the final. I'm not going to tell you what it says because I don't want to tilt it either way, but I'll tell you the results after the game when we do have a winner, one way or another. Lucy and Tom, you're going to be going in that order, starting with Lucy. You've now got 120 seconds on your clock, so a full 2 minutes. Remember, you can pass at any time. I must accept your first answer that you give. The very best of luck to you both. And Lucy, your time starts now. Lucy, what style of popular music is generally used to accompany line dancing?
Country and Western.
Correct. Tom, in golf, the Ryder Cup is usually held once every how many years? 2 or
Two.
4? Correct. Lucy, which Newsnight journalist was named Presenter of the Year by the Royal Television Society in 2002?
Jeremy Paxman.
Correct. Tom, which breed of canine is the national dog of France?
Pass.
It's the poodle. What is 29 multiplied by 2?
58.
Correct.
Yes.
Lucy, which of these countries is larger by area, Canada or India?
Canada.
Correct. Tom, in music, which planet in Gustav Holst's famous suite is called the Bringer of Peace?
Saturn.
No, it's Venus. Of which British mountain range and extensions of the Grampians is Ben Machuchi the highest peak?
Pass.
It's
My God, pass.
It's Tom. It's the
I
Cairngorms.
I pass for you.
In the TV drama Clocking Off, what is the main setting? A
Textile factory.
Correct. Lucy, according to the slogan coined by Marshall Field, the customer is always what?
Right.
Correct. Tom, which British dessert is made with sponge cake and fruit covered with layers of
Trifle.
Correct. Lucy, in the TV soap Dallas, which character played by Linda Gray was the wife of J.R. Ewing?
Sue Ellen.
Correct. Tom, what kind of creature is a dunnock, a fish or a bird?
Bird.
Correct. Lucy, in American slang, a gas guzzler consumes large quantities of what substance? Fuel or lemonade?
Fuel.
Correct. Tom, which of these is not a type of birch tree? Himalayan, Chinese or Malayan?
Malayan.
Correct. Lucy, which film released in the UK in March 2002 stars Gene Hackman as the father of a dysfunctional family of geniuses?
Oh, God, the Royal Tenenbaums?
Correct. Tom, in 1979, which hotel in the place Vendôme in Paris was bought by a businessman, Mohammed Al-Fayed?
Pass.
It's the Ritz. What eye is a name given to a type of verb that does not conform to the usual pattern?
Pass.
Irregular. In nature, what do small sundew plants feed on?
Flies.
Correct. Lucy, the thin, crisp breadsticks known as grissini are from which country?
Italy.
Correct. Tom, for what was the 1930s director Busby Berkeley also
Choreography.
famous? Correct. Lucy, if a person is referred to as pig-headed, they are being what? Obstinate or easygoing?
Obstinate.
Correct. Tom, what E is the name of a weekly news and opinion magazine founded in London in 1840s?
Economist.
Correct. Lucy, the fishing town of Whitstable is northwest of which cathedral city in Kent?
Canterbury.
Correct. Tom, if someone punches a person, they can be said to be giving them a bunch of what?
Pass.
It's fives. What is the occupation of Gordon Ramsay, artist or chef?
Chef.
Correct. Lucy, found in Asia, the Indus and the Tigris are both major examples of what type of geographical feature?
River.
Correct. Tom, what is 2/3 of 36?
24.
Correct. Lucy, taken from French, what is the common alternative name for a public slaughterhouse?
Oh, pass.
It's an abattoir. In 2004, which English boy band had UK #1 hit singles with the singles Who's David and
No,
Thunderbirds?
pass,
It's busted. What does the French word déjeuner mean in English? Lunch or mustard?
Lunch.
Correct. Tom, the Revised Standard and the New English are both versions of which book?
The Bible.
Correct. Lucy, what W is a climbing plant which has clusters of usually lilac-covered flowers and belongs...
Wisteria.
Correct. Tom, the wearing of severely tailored clothing by women to convey professionalism is known as what dressing?
Pass.
It's power. Who was the Labour Prime Minister from 1964 to 1970?
Heath.
No, it's Wilson. In the shipping forecast, which of these sea areas does not border the Irish coast? Shannon, Fastnet or Faroes? Correct. Lucy, in which English city are the Mersey Maritime Museum and the Walker Art Gallery?
Liverpool.
Correct. Tom, tapas originated in which country?
Spain.
Correct. Lucy, what type of creature is an oyster catcher?
Bird.
Correct. Tom, Anthony Gormley and Elizabeth Frink are most associated with which branch of the arts? Ballet
Sculpture.
or sculpture? Correct. Lucy, the Egyptian city of Alexandria was founded by which military leader?
Alexander the Great.
Correct. Tom, which member of Take That wrote the UK #1 hit singles?
Gary
Pray?
Barlow.
Correct. Lucy, according to Alexander Pope, to err is human, to forgive what?
Divine.
Correct. Tom, in 2002,
Good
the
game,
first
Lucy.
record... And Tom, you're out of time.
Oh, I think there's one or two passes there that I could have got if I'd have not been panicking. Oh,
Just shows you
Well,
the pressure of this game.
That was sharp all the way through.
I was trying to pass on your questions at one point. I was absolutely,
did try to do that.
I was like, oh my god, I don't know this, and then I realised, oh, thank God it's yours. But I'm sorry, I was,
I don't think it made 23 seconds of difference at any point in there.
Well, great sportsmanship all round. But Tom, thank you so much for being with us. But unfortunately, you are tripping at the final hurdle, losing to Lucy Porter there. Tom, anything you would like to add, promote, mention before you depart?
Just saying, if you've come to the channel just because I tweeted about it, thank you very much. Thanks for supporting me, if you did. And please, I realise that we're in the middle of weird times and that not everyone can donate to charity right now. But if you have some spare money available, this is for the Samaritans. If you're outside the UK, they are our suicide lifeline. They're a wonderful charity. If you have the ability, please do send some money their way. There is a Tiltify link down at the bottom of the Twitch stream. I do not have Paul's game show weakest link royalties money either, but I am, on behalf of my company and of me, sending £500 over there now, and that should be going through Tiltify about now, so hopefully that'll appear on screen in just a moment. Thank you so much. That was a really good game. I had a lot of fun, and good luck with season 3.
Thank you very much indeed, Tom. Thank you for your generosity and for your kind words there. I see the totals just coming. When I turn the alerts back on, I think the Twitch is the stream's going to go to meltdown. But thank you so much indeed, Tom, for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I hope to speak with you another time.
Thank you. Good night.
So that means our champion of champions in this celebrity edition, the first ever celebrity edition of Face Off, is none other than Lucy Porter. Lucy, congratulations.
Well, it feels undeserved, but nonetheless really appreciated. So I shall be basking in the glory of this for some days to come.
Well, you've given us a tremendous show. It's been wonderful having you on. Thank you so much for agreeing to come and talk to us and for taking part in the game. Is there anything you would like to mention, to promote, or say anything about come the end of the stream?
I would like to just say thank you so much for having me, and well done for the wonderful things that you're doing. I shall also be donating an undisclosed amount to the wonderful Samaritans who have helped me and many people I know over the years. And my mother-in-law was a volunteer for the Samaritans for many, many years. And yeah, I mean, just an absolutely brilliant charity and such a wonderful thing to do. So well done you, and tremendous fun to boot. We've all had a lovely time. So thank you to the losers, as I'm now going to refer to them.
A wonderful, if perhaps slightly stressful time, but no, I have to. The Samaritans is something close to my heart. I know a lot of people of the community have been going through difficult times at the moment. The community that we run here. My wife's brother's actually a volunteer for the Samaritans, so it's something that runs a little bit in the family. So thank you so much for your generosity, both with your donation and with your time this evening, for coming to join us. I hope you've had a good time.
Thank you so much. Best of luck with it all. Mwah,
thank you very much. Thank you, Lucy. Do take care. So there is your champion, Lucy Porter, triumphing over Dan Peake, Tom Scott and Paul Farrer. And if you've tuned in to watch the celebrity match, I hope that you've enjoyed it. Don't forget, the Tiltify link is still live now. So if you'd like to go and donate, you can do that at that link right there. I'm just posting into the chat. If you just joined us for the celebrity match, do stick around because the evening continues. We have got Risky Business. No, we haven't. We've got Word Wheels next, which is a self-running game while I go and slightly calm down. We've then got Risky Business, which is going to have been written by 8 Minky. We've then got our final charity game of Deal or No Deal, and rounding the night off with my first original, Danger Zone 2. All of these get remaining games, apart from Deal or No Deal, of course, are mass multiplayer that you can play along with at home. So if you fancy a bit of quizzing yourself, then do stick around and you'll be able to take part. Thank you to everyone for all the new follows, for all the donations. I see we're at £2,624.69 now, following in with the meme. So thank you all so you very, very much for all the love and all the support. Thank you to our wonderful celebrities. Congratulations to Lucy on winning Face Off there. Do stick around. Word Wheel's coming up in just a few minutes, and then we're going to be back with Risky Business, probably in about 10 or 15 minutes' time. Take care. Thank you for joining us, and stay there. I don't know why I sound like I'm ending the night. I'm not ending the night. The night carries on. Thanks for coming. Do stay here, and I'll be back very, very shortly. Congrats to Lucy. Enjoy the credits.